Hello, everybody. I am Amanda Nagel. I'm your Chief Operating Officer here at the Iowa Association of Realtors, here with Tommy Choi, and we're going to talk about his upcoming keynote for our convention that runs October 4th through the 6th in downtown Des Moines. Tommy, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and give everybody a shout out?
Yeah, well, I'm grateful to be able to be with you all in Des Moines and be able to share my story, my message. As you said, Tommy Choi, I'm from Chicago, born and raised in Chicago all my life. I've been a realtor for 15 years now. I have a highly productive team here, a top 5 team here in Chicago when it comes to sales production. I also really care about this industry, which is probably a lot of the relationships and roads we've crossed here with a lot of the Iowa realtor members here, serving at a local, state, and national level as well. So super excited. And that's my connection with Krista, your incoming president here via the YPN. So excited for this full circle moment and for me to be there to share my message.
It is awesome. I know I got into this industry. I got a little pop-up on my Facebook memories the other day that was like 9 years ago, you decided to get into this insane industry. I know you've been in it a lot longer than that, but it is kind of interesting to see where it takes you and who it introduces you to. And so lucky to know you and to have you come here. I know you mentioned, you've got a high producing team in Chicago, born and raised there too. So shout out to that. But I know you're currently sitting on the NAR Game Changer, the governance Game Changer PAG. Is that right? Are you sitting or you sat on?
I did. Yeah. For the last 3 years, we just wrapped up. And that was the longest PAG. That's got to be one of the longest PAGs in the NAR history, but it was such a necessary one too, because it's time to rethink and reshape the way we do things here at an association level. And I think we had some really great ideas come out of it that I think will continue to raise the bar and the standard that we hold ourselves to as volunteer leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. And we always thank you for your service. And obviously, like I said, your service through your local, your state, and your national is connected you to all of these people across the country. And I love seeing that come full circle. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your keynote, where it came from, what it's about? It's titled Lessons from My Dry Cleaner.
Yes, Lessons on Success from My Dry Cleaner. So, this is a story about mindset, really. And I'm going to share lessons on how to stay adaptable, effective communication, how to have this mindset of abundance, how to overcome fear, and also the importance when it comes to diversity and the importance, especially when it comes to having a mindset of gratitude. All these things that I'm going to share with you, believe it or not, I learned from going to my dry cleaner all these years, dropping off suits and shirts and getting clothes altered. I observed my dry cleaner and how she ran a small business and all these things I picked up. And these lessons that I'm going to share with you, I've personally applied to my business. And that's led me to build a profitable multi-million-dollar real estate team that's led all of us to see the 6 levels of success we've seen so far. And on top of that, not just in business, but in personal life, when we talk about, just like we did, right? Volunteer leadership, servant leadership for associations. My leadership journey when it comes to the local, state, and national level all was fueled by a lot of these lessons I learned from my dry cleaner that I'm going to be sharing with you that Thursday when I deliver my keynote. So I'm super excited to be there to share that.
Yeah. And I've had the absolute opportunity to hear your keynote before. And I can say without a doubt that it is one of the more impactful ones that I've ever heard. And it's just so packed, like you said, of lessons and really true takeaways, things that you can just walk away and go, that's easy. These are not like, okay, I've got to like sit down and grind it out. These are simple, obtainable things that you can do every day in your business and walk away. And I love that you're so focused on mindset. I think, we've all kind of had a reset maybe in the last couple of years about maybe how we how we react to things, and how we adapt and change and make sure that, we're growing with everything around us. I mean,
Yeah.
think everything was, kind of fast paced in this industry before, but now the changes just seem so amplified. And who knows, we can attribute that to a lot of things, but, ending your day, starting your day, ending your day with gratitude really makes such a difference.
I mean, it's the only thing we can control, right? We can't control where interest rates go up or down to. We can't control whether our economy goes into a recession or not. We can't control inventory. We can't control, rental prices going up, but we can control our mindset and how we choose to respond to those things when we see those market shifts that we're seeing right now. And so, I mean, you nailed it. That's what we can control. And I always say, especially when you have that mindset of gratitude and you look at everything through that lens of gratitude, gratitude is recession proof. Doesn't matter what the stock markets say. It doesn't matter what interest rates are at. I know I'm going to continue to succeed because I have that foundation that I'm coming from.
Sure. At the end of the day, the people who know and trust you are going to know and trust you.
Yes.
Despite everything else that's going around. And so if you're that constant source of just clear messaging, gratitude, or whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
if you're just steady Eddie, I mean, that's what you're always going to have to fall back on. I always love having to, it looks like you guys are going to come, you're going to do a panel with some of your other peers. We've got Craig and Tommy and Drew, or Tommy, geez, sorry, Harrison and Craig and Drew on a diversity panel. I think Koki's joining us for that too. So, what does diversity mean to you? You mentioned it, bringing it through in your keynote, but what does that mean to you?
That's such a great question. It's not just feeling a sense of belonging, but also being welcomed and being invited, right? So, I think it's so important. I mean, it's always been important, and it's something that, I've continued to live, and it empowers you and builds your confidence when it comes to diversity and whatever community that, you come from and that you identify with. I think when there's more diverse people around a table, and you can come together to structure what that table looks like. Not only are the people that are sitting around that table going to feel more confident, but ultimately the overall organization or mission or vision that you're trying to accomplish, you're going to end up getting there, I think, quicker and also much more effectively, because you have so much more perspective, right? That rounds out what those ideas look like and how to shape them correctly. So diversity is such an important thing, especially when it comes to our industry and the realtor community.
Yeah, absolutely. Our theme this year is find a way or fade away. And I think that rings true in everything, right? Every part of your business, every part of your life is you find a way or you fade away, right?
Yep.
Either find a way to do it, you find a way to participate, you find a way to get involved, you find a way, to include others, you find a way to adapt, or you don't, and then people move on without you, right?
Yep, exactly.
You fade into the background. So I always love to end these with rapid fire questions.
Oh boy.
And I don't I don't have quite as long of a list for you, but I do have some, I feel like, really important ones to ask.
Okay.
So, and I feel like it's unfair because I feel like I know enough about you to know the answers to most of these questions. So gym shoes or flip-flops?
Gym shoes. Come on. And I love, this is how I know that there's a little piece of Chicago still in use. You call them gym shoes and not sneakers. Because that's a very Chicago thing, is call them gym shoes.
It is, because that's what they're called.
Exactly.
They are not sneakers. I don't even know what else people call them, but they're gym shoes.
Gym shoes. Yes.
I don't know. I know small aside, when I came home lived in Colorado for a long time, came home and I was like, my grandma asked me what I wanted to drink. And I said, soda. And because she was like, well, ooh, soda. And she's like, we have pop. And I was like, okay, fine, pop. Can I have a pop? Which I also feel like is very
oh yeah,
very Chicago-esque. Yes. So very leading into that, thin crust or deep dish?
So I'm not a deep dish fan. And so, and once again, you'll know this,
Yeah.
but Chicago, obviously, we get this whole deep
Oh
dish
yes.
pizza
Yes.
connection.
Yep.
But really, true Chicagoans, it's tavern cut pizza, square
Yep.
slices,
Yes. Yes.
cracker thin, like tavern style pizza. That's what Chicago's really known for. That's my favorite. Tavern
I,
style, thin, square cuts, you know.
yep. What's your favorite one?
So my favorite is on the north side called
Okay.
Marie's.
Okay.
Marie's, and they've been around for a long, long time. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very, it's very territorial, right? Southsiders like
Oh
Vito
yeah.
and Nick's, which it's awesome. One of the best sausages too. They make their own in-house sausage, but
Yep.
I grew up on the north side, so Marie's been around forever. They still made it through COVID. I was a little worried. I won't
Yep.
lie. I probably ordered extra pizzas just to make sure that
Just
they stay in business, and it shows in my waistline today,
I
but
hear
that's
you.
okay. But thin crust tavern style pizza. That's the
Just
way to go.
makes me giggle because when I cut my pizza into squares, people look at me like I'm a monster. And I was like, but this is how we cut pizza where I come from. And I will say that because I'm a South Sider and Vito Nix is, chef's kiss, but
Oh yeah.
we got to try Palermo's, which
Oh
is
yeah.
95th and Cicero. If you haven't had it, that's hometown. That's like my parents come to visit and they like bring me stacked like frozen pizzas like in coolers and they're like kept away in my deep freeze for a bit of home every time I need it. So it's the pizza debate is strong, but yes, I will
I
back
love
you
it.
up on the true Chicagoans. It's the thin crust, not the deep dish for us, but
Now, don't get me wrong. I'll have a slice of deep dish every once in
sure.
a while, but it's just like you can only have one slice,
I
you
know.
know?
And I don't know. Still the thin crust. Okay.
Yes.
Music or podcasts?
Music.
Okay. Ocean or mountains?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm gonna say oceans, but not like just to look at. I
Okay.
hate beaches. Okay. It's just like messy. It's like it's too much. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. Not so much like swimming in the ocean either. It's just calming to be around
Sure. You like
ocean.
to look at it from your private
Totally.
balcony.
I like hearing the waves crash.
Yeah.
But then like mountains, that I love because I love being like a part of that and being
Yeah.
active on that. My sister-in-law lives in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, so we go there. We switch off between summers and winters every year. We're actually supposed to be there a couple weeks ago, but camping at Yellowstone, but they got
Oh
the
no.
campsites got flooded. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we had to cancel. But that I like being a part of and being
Yes.
in the mountains.
Yeah.
But oceans, I like tranquility, peacefulness,
So your difference
just
between a vacation, maybe alone, maybe with your wife, maybe that's your vacation, your beach and
yes.
a trip with the kids
Yes, there you go.
is something active and something for them to do.
Yes.
I think there's a clear delineation between trips and vacations once you've entered parenthood.
Trips is basically just everyday life with a different backdrop.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
that's what vacation with your children is. They're just
Exactly. There's just trips.
they're just
Yeah.
living your life, everything. So because I know you've got a whole gaggle of girls at home,
Yes.
which Disney princess are you?
Well, I thought you were gonna ask me who's my favorite daughter.
Oh,
Um,
I would never put you in that position. Do you have a favorite?
so wait, what Disney princess?
Yeah, which Disney princess are you?
Am I?
Yeah.
Ooh. I think I am. Ooh. I think I am a little bit of Anna
Oh,
because she keeps it light and fun,
yeah.
but she even though, her sister Elsa was, a little mean to her.
Little frosty.
Yep, a little frosty. She still's like, I still got your back. You're my day one, right? And
Yeah.
that's how I am, the loyalty piece.
Yeah.
So I think probably that.
Okay.
Anna. I think
Anna.
that
We're going with
I
Anna.
feel like that's too new age though. But I don't relate with anyone old school,
You didn't leave your glass slipper behind or
No,
fall asleep in a forest with 7 dudes
nope.
or nothing. That's
Yeah.
okay. I mean, if you don't show up to convention with like a red braided wig,
I will. I
I'm
will.
gonna somehow you're gonna have like walk up music is gonna be Let It Go. So just so we're clear,
Nice. All right. Done. Done.
we're gonna make it all happen. What is one thing you wish you would have known early on in your career?
Ooh. So there's a couple things, but I think the most important thing is the people. You have to be intentional and you have to be purposeful around the people who you choose to surround yourself with. You know, I know it's like cliche. You become like the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's
Yeah.
cliche because it's true. And I think that aligning, you know, if I were to go back day one of real estate 15 years ago, I would have made it my goal to make sure I'm surrounded by the right people, right? You know, I always call them my locker room, make sure I'm in the right locker room. And that's not people that are just like, you know, rah rah blowing smoke up my butt. It's like people that are keeping it like 100 with me, right? Accountability, right? Being
Yeah.
honest. And so I
Yeah.
think that's the one thing I wish I knew from day one.
Yeah. Always grateful to have those people be like, okay, I need you to just give me like a real clear picture on if in my head, what I'm taking this situation is to be is like really probably due north, or maybe I'm blowing something up, or, you know, like
Yep.
just give me your outside, and people who can be honest with you like that are and completely invaluable. I am just going to wrap it up by asking you, what are you most excited about coming to Iowa for?
Well, you know what? I wish I could say I wish this convention was around your Iowa State Fair, because that's like I've everyone tells me about this bucket of cookies that everyone like
Oh,
waits in line for. So I wish I could say it was that.
very
I
serious.
think I think what I'm most excited about is to be there for my dear friend Krista Clark. I'm super excited for her and her leadership journey.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool, full circle. Like I said, we were, you know, just serving on committees together. Now she gets to, you know, be one of the leaders of your state association. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to celebrate her and be with all the Iowa Realtor members who I've become friends
Yeah.
with throughout the years, like yourself, and just have a good time.
Yeah, we're lucky and we're super excited to have you. And I know it's going to be great. And there's so much energy surrounding this convention this year that it's hard. It's super infectious and it's hard not to be excited about it. So we're so grateful that you're going to be joining us. And I know you're going to be making a long trek from another one. So Godspeed and safe travel. Like we'll be praying to the travel gods that you know, they're looking out for you in your travels ahead of that. But can't wait to have you join us again. We are October 4th through the 6th at the downtown Marriott. Tommy will be joining us on the 6th, and we'll see you all there. Have a good one, guys.
See you then.